What's up, everybody? I'm doing a video on my top 10 favorite fighters based on storyline. Pretty self explanatory, but it's not an objective list. There's going to be a lot of fighters on here that you're not going to rock with. Like this first one. Okay, don't click off the video. Don't click off the video. But Kayla Harrison. Why is Kayla Harrison at all near the top 10? Well, she's the real 135 champ. It's just funny that Juliana Pena robs Raquel Pennington and is ducking Kayla Harrison. She's super entertaining just based off the fact that she mogs everybody. I mean, just look at these arms. Bro, she's such a Giga Chad. And it's fun seeing her climb up. And she's obviously going to win the belt. And after that, we don't care. This is going to be the only WMMA fighter on here. Now, this next one. Okay, don't click off the video. Please don't click off. We got a double whammy here. The Aljo and Mavzar storyline. Both are so hated. Everyone hates him so much for being so boring. It's exciting. I mean, just sitting there thinking about who's going to backpack harder, Aljo or Mavzar. It makes me feel something. That's for sure. And I predict whoever wins this fight between the two will go on to 48-47 Ilia Topuria, the bum Ilia. I gotta be honest, I'm just praying on Ilia's downfall. This is why these guys are here. Number 8, this is reasonable. Kamaru Usman, the greatest welterweight on the planet. I mean, Kamaru Usman's storyline right now, it's going pretty crazy. The beef with current champ Belal, you cannot deny. You cannot deny that you're interested. Don't back up, T Wood. I'm coming all night long. Kamaru Usman, I want to see him beat up Belal. You know it'd be badass if he came back. If he became champ again. You know that'd be badass. I mean, he just has to win one fight and then he's back at a title shot. And the UFC might just give it to him, a title shot as is, because the hype between him versus Belal from that podcast is crazy right now. And the other thing is, he's not washed. We just saw Khamzat destroy Whitaker, and people were like, dude, Kamaru Usman is so washed, man. He would do a decision with Khamzat. Everybody else gets destroyed by Chimaev. But Kamaru Usman, on freaking what? Like 12 days notice, shows up and is winning the third round? Dude, Kamaru Usman is him. He's got to come back and be champ again. That'd be badass. Let me tell you something, kid. This guy, Kamaru Usman, greatest welterweight ever. Number 7, Michael Chandler. I just feel bad for this guy. And he's been cucked by McGregor. Loses to every fan favorite other than Hooker. This dude is cooked on paper. Like, you look at his resume. In the UFC, he's won 2 fights. One of them being Hooker. And the other is Tony Ferguson. Not looking good, buddy. Not looking good. But he's so entertaining in and outside of the cage. Every fight, you're like, holy shit, he might do this. He might beat Charles Oliveira. He might beat Dustin Poirier. He might beat Justin Gaethje. It's crazy watching this guy fight, and then he gets on the mic. Conor McGregor! I'll see you at the top! He's badass. And the reason I'm so invested in this storyline between him getting just absolutely cucked by McGregor for 2 years and losing. Why do I feel like he's going to be champ? Why do I just feel like he's going to beat Charles next week? Then he's going to beat somebody else and then get in that title fight against Islam and just dominate him, like fluke his win and become the first person in lightweight history to be champ over 35. Why do I feel like we're going to see him at the top? That's why I'm invested in him. Number 6, Joaquin Buckley. Was a total side character up until this year. He had a cool knockout, but that's all he had. So he's got some humble beginnings. And then UFC 300, he gets this fan question. He's the last person to ask a question at the press conference, and he asks to be main event because Derek Lewis can't handle 5 rounds. Just badass. That's when he entered main character status. And since then, he's been super entertaining. I mean, I got to go to UFC 307 in person. Saw him knock out Wonderboy. What? How do you knock out Wonderboy? This guy did it. He's badass. And you just know the beef between him and Ian Gary is going to be crazy. Ian Machado Ferry. He's going to beat him and then get a top 5 opponent and then get a title shot after that. I can't wait to see Joaquin Buckley's, like, what goes on next, but so far it's been goated. Number 5, Jon Jones. Great fight. I'd love to fight him. Too bad that's not happening. Jon Jones is the ultimate bad guy. He is the greatest supervillain in any sport ever. You can't tell me one person who's more evil. And Tom Aspinall is the fabled hero to defeat him. If there was anybody on this earth who has a shot at beating Jon Jones, it's Tom Aspinall. And this is bedtime MMA put it perfect. Voldemort, Harry Potter. Everyone wants to see this fight. But this fight's never going to happen. I mean, Jon Jones just did an interview today, which will be yesterday once this video comes out. But that he's just not going to fight Aspinall. He just doesn't care. This will, obviously everyone's hoping for this fight to happen. Let's be honest, it's not going to. Jon Jones is going to keep ducking. And it'll be the biggest what if in MMA history. Yeah, that storyline is pretty badass. Number 4, Dricus du Plessis. Absolute Giga Chad. This guy, the thing is, like, all of his fights, he looks like shit, dude. He's huffing and puffing, tripping over himself, shooting takedowns, missing by 10 feet. Somehow subs Izzy. What do you mean? What do you mean he does this? He might just be the greatest middleweight of all time in like 1 or 2 fights. And don't even talk to me about Anderson Silva. This guy, his last 3 fights, beat Robert Whittaker, who, I'm not a big fan of, but former champion still, Sean Strickland, and Israel Adesanya. Tell me that's not a stacked resume. Those 3 wins back-to-back are legendary. And up next, it's either Sean Strickland again or Khamzat. If he beats Strickland and then Khamzat, he's the greatest middleweight of all time. There's no question. There's nobody who has a resume like that at middleweight in history. And it's just hilarious to me that 10 years after that, they're going to talk about Dricus du Plessis as that guy, as the middleweight GOAT, the Jon Jones of the middleweight division. And I want to see Dricus keep winning because he's got the most goofy goober style of all time. And I just love it. Number 3, the real bantamweight champ. You know that it still feels like Sean O'Malley's the champ. He is the 135 division. There is no bantamweight division. Nobody's talking about it unless Sean O'Malley's the champ. I know Merab beat him. I know that. But it doesn't feel like it. Merab's like, hey, one more thing, you guys. One more thing. I'm not going to fight with Umnar. I take Sean O'Malley rematch in December. Let's go for that. And then Sean O'Malley's like, yeah, whatever, dude. I'll knock out Umnar. Him and his unibrow. I'll knock out Merab too. Yeah, that's what's up. Sean O'Malley literally just acts like the bantamweight champ still. And it's just, in my eyes, he's still the champ. He's just the GOAT of 135. And here's the thing. Merab will be forced to fight Umnar. He's going to lose. And then Sean O'Malley will come back from his surgery and recovering, instantly get a title shot, gets his own Conor Khabib fight. But unlike his hero, he's going to win. Unlike his idol, Conor McGregor, he's going to beat the Dagestani, the undefeated Dagestani, knock him out, get the belt back. You know this is going to be badass when that happens. And next week, Maybe tomorrow I'll do it. I don't know. I want to make a perfect UFC 2025 bantamweight timeline. And spoiler alert, Sean O'Malley's going to be the main character. But number 2, hey, at the end of the day, it is what it is, brother. Max Holloway. Max Holloway, at my point down here, he is literally UFC main character. I mean, this dude came in as like a baby and has grown up as the champion, been knocked down, gets back up every time. This guy is the main character, bro. Obviously, just lost to Ilia Topuria. We are not happy about that. But hear me out. Now, his Cinderella story has more potential for greatness. I swear I'm not coping. I swear I'm not coping. This is all part of the storyline. Max Holloway, this was, he keeps trying to get the 45 belt back. This was him getting pushed to lightweight. We just saw his last lightweight fight against Justin Gaethje, who was the next in line for a title shot, and he absolutely schooled him. I think Max Holloway in a real 155 build, because, he said he wanted to go back down, so he wasn't like true 155 Max. When he's in real 155 Max Holloway, I think he destroys everybody. The only people who are going to give him any issues are Arman and Islam. Like, those are the only 2 guys. That's it for lightweight in terms of challenges. And I think, I know it sounds crazy. I think he can beat him. I think he can. He's got the plot armor, bro. He can do it. And then if he fights Islam, that completes the short notice Khabib fight storyline from all the way back when. And he can once again be the 150. He can once again be UFC champion, but at 155. Tell me that's not a badass Cinderella story. Max Holloway is him. We want that to happen. But number 1, you know who it is. It's the GOAT, Alex Poatan Pereira. Shuma. I mean, let's get it out of the way. This guy has the best UFC storyline of all time with Izzy already. I mean, just that arc of him getting into the UFC, knocking out Izzy, losing in the end, but the greatest storyline ever. There's nothing that even comes close. This guy has world-ending power, but he's still the good guy. He's like real-life Superman. I mean, he's on his way to GOAT status. He's 2 fights away. If he knocks out Ankalaev, there's nobody left at light heavyweight. Nobody. The only option for him then is to, there's other people, but they're not challenges. He goes up to heavyweight. If he wins, he's the greatest of all time. Triple weight champ, and beats Jones or Aspinall, whoever he would fight, beats the greatest heavyweights of all time. He would be the greatest MMA athlete ever. Greatest combat sports athlete ever. I mean, the guy's kickboxing legend already, and now UFC. I don't know how you can't be rooting for this guy to be like the GOAT and follow along his story. Is just badass. And his origin story, dude, come on. This guy, he's him. But yeah, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more UFC stuff or random stuff. All right, see ya.